Ryan Blaney's finish in the Brickyard 400 did not go as planned. He saw Kyle Larson drive away with the victory. This was a crazy NASCAR finish at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and Blaney was far from happy when he found out how it all played out.
Oh.
Big contact in one.
Yeah, that's a big shot. I think that's...
Even taking time to accuse NASCAR of letting Larson do illegal moves and being the golden boy. Blaney lost it on his NASCAR team radio. "There's no way they should have let that go green," he said, according to Davey Siegel of SiriusXM. "That's ridiculous. They just gave it to him. Larson, it's over. I'm on the top. I ain't gonna win from the top. Gave it to F*** Key King Golden Boy. Son of a B** teach." His argument was that Larson stealing vital placement as a result of Keselowski's bad decision, helped by NASCAR's decision-making, put him in a difficult situation on the second overtime restart. Ryan Blaney has been making a big push lately. He is poised to make a big run in the NASCAR playoffs. At the very least, he has kept his nose in the mix in recent weeks. Of course, there was the win at Pocono. After the race, Blaney spoke with Dustin Long of NBC Sports about how it all ended. Kyle Larson's leap during the first overtime restart, to be exact. I'm pissed. I told my guys I'm ticked off, but I don't know who to be ticked off at. It's just like racing luck," Blaney said. "The break that he got and the hardship that we got there with that happening at that time just killed our race. We put ourselves in the perfect spot to win, and just that weird circumstance, it just benefited him and just killed our race. You know, any chance of us to win. That's what I'm upset about. I'm not mad at anybody. Just lady luck, I'm just pissed off at. Just sucks, man." Ryan Blaney will once again miss out on this one. He shouldn't feel awful about it. Every top driver wishes they could relive certain races. Ryan Blaney was upset following today's race. He was likewise perplexed, uncertain what he should be furious about. As he explained to Dustin Long, "That is how racing works. Luck does not always favor you. I knew the 6, Brad Keselowski, was probably going to run out if we went green. We came to the restart and I couldn't believe they stayed out," Blaney said on the post-race broadcast. "I knew there was no way they were going to make it, so I obviously chose the top because he might run out in the restart zone. And he runs out coming to the green, so he gets to go to pit road, and the 5, Kyle Larson, gets promoted, and luck of the day right there, I guess. I don't know. I don't even know what to be mad about. I'm mad about losing this race because I thought we were in the perfect position. But once I lost control of the race, and obviously I would have been on the bottom, but I thought the 6 would run out in the restart zone or down the back, I don't know. Stinks to lose in that way. But appreciate the effort. I hate we don't get to celebrate with Mr. Penske and everyone Penske here. That stings a lot, but try to keep going. That's all we can do." While Ryan Blaney missed out on the Brickyard 400, he still has more opportunities ahead. His title defense is still very much alive. And Blaney wasn't the only one who was angry about what had just happened. Many fans watching at home believed NASCAR should have waved the yellow flag when it was evident Preece couldn't get off the back straight away. A third overtime restart would have begun, but clearly that did not occur. Larson received the triumph with care and will shortly kiss the bricks. #NASCAR. What a horrible decision made by NASCAR. Ryan Preece was stopped for 3/4 of a lap, and they just stared at him, and as soon as the leaders crossed the line, boom, one fan wrote on X. NASCAR fans will not forget this one anytime soon. "So, we're just going to wait to throw a caution 2 corners and white flag after a driver makes contact with the wall and gets beached on the track," another fan posted. The backlash resulted in, you guessed it, NASCAR defending their decisions? Another week, and NASCAR is justifying themselves after yet another disputed finish. Brad Keselowski and Ryan Blaney occupied the front row entering the first of 2 extra periods. Keselowski had control over the restart, deciding whether to take off at any point in the restart zone or to allow the flagman to start the race at the end of the zone. Keselowski drove onto pit road before the green light because he ran out of gasoline. Kyle Larson then slipped into his slot and seemed to go off on the restart before Ryan Blaney. According to the regulations, after Keselowski dips out, Blaney takes charge of the restart. From the onboard shot from Larson's car, it appears he did jump the restart. The race does not resume from the first line in the zone. It's a zone for a reason. The control car has the option of taking off at any moment in that zone, while the other car in the front row, Larson this time, must wait. NASCAR believes nothing occurred. However, this one will not sit well with many. It wasn't the only final lap decision that helped Larson win the race. Elton Sawyer, NASCAR's senior vice president of competition, addressed the contentious decision following the race. "Obviously, we'd like for it to play out naturally," Sawyer said. We want our teams to race to the checkered flag. We did everything we possibly could. We kept an eye on the 41. He got turned around. He was really giving a solid effort, and once he came to a stop and we could tell that he had, I think, a flat left rear tire, he wasn't going to move. We'd already taken the white, we just couldn't run by there again. So it was unfortunate, but it was the right call. Sawyer was questioned further on the subject, being asked if the same scenario had occurred in the midst of the race, what would have changed? He gave an answer on NASCAR's behalf. I think when it comes to safety, and we have cars that have spun out and they're trying to make an effort to move, we're going to do everything we can to stay green, Sawyer said. But again, it's a case-by-case basis. We'd have to. It's a lot of hypotheticals there. That wasn't the only potentially controversial issue in the late stages. So was the first overtime restart, which put Brad Keselowski in first place on a nearly depleted tank of gasoline. Keselowski would run out of gasoline shortly after the race began. He went off into pit road, thus giving Larson a free pass on his track position.
Six is close, and he's out. He's out. So the 5 moves forward into the front row. It's overtime, presented by Credit One Bank. Blaney on the outside, Larson on the inside. Green flag back in the air. 2 laps of racing in Indy. Who else is going to run out?
Ryan Blaney, who was on the outside in P2, was not happy. However, Sawyer said that NASCAR was in a difficult situation and was unable to modify its judgment. So we had already gone through the choose process, so we were coming to green when the 6 pulled off, which allowed the 5 to pull up, which transferred the control vehicle to the 12, Sawyer said. And this all happens fairly quick there. So hindsight, I think we still let it play out the way it did. We'll discuss that more. If we had thrown the caution hypothetically, we wouldn't have gone through a choose process again. The 12 would have been the control vehicle, but he wouldn't have got lane choice. That's the way the rule's written. This all resulted in Kyle Larson winning the Brickyard 400 in Indianapolis, thanks to a handful of controversial decisions in the final stage, and the NASCAR driver celebrated on X on Sunday evening, rubbing it in the faces of his haters and fellow drivers. In fact, Larson used the chance to dunk on one of the drivers he passed for the win. After Ryan Blaney blew a gasket about Larson taking advantage of Brad Keselowski running out of fuel just after the race went green in overtime, labeling Larson NASCAR's golden boy, Larson quote-tweeted Blaney's clip and added his own brief but really nice comment, a sunglasses emoji. Yep, that's all Larson had to say about it. I'm sure he was happy to have grabbed the win, but what are your thoughts on the race? Did you think it was a deserved win? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.